Okay, everyone, hello, and welcome to the live edition of the Jeep Life podcast. We're just trying to get things rolling.
We're here.
Why is there always some kind of technical difficulty just to get rolling?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because nothing's ever easy.
No, I tried to be prepared. I tried to get here
When it comes to
early.
Jeeps, everything is a freaking problem.
Everything.
Freaking problems.
Freaking problems. Yeah, nobody's come on yet. Oh, no, there they are.
Oh, yeah. No.
There's Mike.
Evening,
Yeah.
evening, good evening.
It says he's watching me.
He is watching you.
He claimed I watched him.
No. Well done. Creepers. Anyway, as everybody can see, Breaking Billy and I are in the studio.
Yep.
We're joined by,
A moderator, a
Um,
good friend.
yeah, a third
Past
wheel.
moderator.
A third wheel.
Third wheel.
Third wheel?
Yeah, we're letting it.
Three-wheelers are
We're,
fun.
we're letting him on the actual
Oh, this time it's not my
screen.
knee.
Yeah,
No,
It's not
you're
an off-screen
full-
voice.
No,
You're
it's-
full on
I've
screen.
upgraded to video.
yeah. I didn't want to move the table again. That's the only reason.
The only reason is because there was 3 set up.
That's right.
Because you had the king in,
Yeah,
Dr. Don.
yeah.
Dr. Destructo.
As we like to call him, or as like he likes to call himself, Unreliable Don.
Unreliable Don.
I can always count on him.
We all can.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Definitely.
So we got Jason C, the beach bitch.
The Beach Boy.
I don't really have like a
No, you don't.
nick.
little
I'm not going
moniker
to attempt
yet.
it. Yeah, I'm not going to attempt
No.
that one.
A beach boy. Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
asked me
you
that
can be
about.
the Beach Boy.
Yeah, that could
You're
work.
a beach guy.
Oh yeah,
Big time
beach Jeep,
guy.
beach. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm beach theme. You know it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He uses his Jeep a lot at the beach.
At the beach. Yeah.
I'm on the beach, but no beach.
Yeah.
I hate your beach.
Gets that sand everywhere.
But that's a great segue to what I use in my vehicle as an interior.
Oh, oh.
Oh, look what you did.
Hey,
And he's
I'm a
talking.
consummate professional here just for you.
Save it for the show.
Yeah, in all of my nonsense, I have lost the show notes.
Oh,
Because I had to do a full computer reboot in order to make things happen.
yeah.
Good grief. Then I have to blow them up big enough so my old eyeballs can see them.
Hmm.
That's when you go to settings and set your monitor to
Yeah.
grandma size.
Yeah, but I need more space. I need real estate space. So I can't do that
Yeah,
across
you're
the board.
rocking that 12-inch. That's
It's a 13.
is it?
Yeah,
1 inch. It's all about that extra.
it is all about it. What's up, Josh? Got Josh, Troy, Mike chiming in the comment section. We love the comments. Tonight's going to be a good night to throw in the comments because get your questions ready.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the name of the
Lots of
game
questions.
tonight.
That is why I am here for the, I think, second or maybe third time now.
Yeah,
We've done some Q&A.
yeah.
So,
Get that mic up close to your face.
okay.
It doesn't have to be
Closer.
in your face, but get it up there. All right. Well, we've got some people rolling in.
Share it out.
Share it out.
Share.
Something
share.
we haven't done in quite a while is kind of talk about all of our partners that we have.
I know we do have a bunch.
We do have an exclusive power tank discount for our listeners.
I was using Power Tank products last weekend.
Were you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Setting shock pressures
Yes.
in the buggy.
Yeah. All right.
So
That
their
works.
nitrogen shock fill kit is spot on, and it's super high quality.
Yeah.
Works really well.
That's awesome.
But you can head over to
PowerTank.com
PowerTank.com. Jeep Life Pod 15.
for a complete system.
Yep.
You get 15% off. That's a good deal. See those guys, Tyler and Steve, not Steve and Tyler, like Aerosmith. I always make that joke. I know. I'm sorry. How about Pipes? Pipes offering free shipping on their products. Pipes sexhaust.com.
I can't get over that you did that. I can't unsee that ever.
No.
Jeep Life
Yeah.
is going to get you free shipping.
Free shipping. That's a big deal.
It is. It's actually better than...
Then like a 10% discount.
Yeah, it is. A lot better.
Same discount code, Jeep Life, will get you free shipping at Cold Case.
Yes, it will.
Our good friends over at Cold Case.
Yeah.
You got a Cold Case radiator sitting out there?
It's waiting to go in Reaper.
Yeah. Box looks good.
Yep. Although, I think I looked at it, and it's only... Cold Case is only painted on one side.
Of
the
the radiator, yeah.
Yeah. It's not painted on both sides.
Oh.
Isn't it just one side out?
But it's not on the outside. It's on the inside.
Huh.
At least in my configuration. I don't know.
I feel like that should be like tires, where you can run the tire
Right.
in
You
or
can do
out, depending how you want to
Raised
do it.
outline,
That's
white
correct.
letters.
That is
yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I like that. Huddy's Beard Balm. I'm still going to shill for this guy, even though he's not. He hasn't said, hey, let's do another month of stuff. But I love the guy. So
I still use the beard balm that you got me.
yeah.
I love
So
it.
Jeep Life Pod, get you 10% off at huddysbeardbalm.com. Made here in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
With love.
Yes. Lots of love and all natural ingredients.
Yes. All natural. All right, let's see where we are number-wise. All right, looks like we got a nice little house building up. So I'm going to... Should I press the button?
Are you going to hit the button?
I can hit the button. Let's see what happens when I hit the button.
All the lights go out.
I hope not.
Please, no.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life podcast that's presented by Armorlite, the toughest flooring on the trail. No matter where you go, you want to take care of the interior of your vehicle and be able to clean it with the easiest way possible. Mud, snow, salt, sand, whatever it is, and Armorlite's got you covered. Exclusive Armorlite discount, Jeep Life Podcast 10 for a complete Armorlite system at goarmorlite.com. The toughest flooring on the trail, and we thank them for proudly presenting tonight's show. Hey, everybody, I'm Jeep and Terry, and I'm joined by Break It Billy. What's up?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
It's been about 12 hours since we saw each other.
Yeah.
And I was a little.
We were tossing them back.
Yeah, we were. It was a good day.
It was all good
It was a
fun.
beautiful day.
All good fun. Enjoying the weather, from a light little shower to the sun to a campfire that we got rained on.
It was worth it, though. When somebody texts you and says, hey, let's do some day drinking.
Yeah.
The only response you have
Is when.
yeah,
And
let's
where.
go.
Where?
And if you notice, I brought somebody in,
Not a whole heck of a lot.
the Beach Boy.
The Beach Boy. I was gonna jump in on your Armorlite thing and say, and the beach.
And
On the
beach.
trails
Oh, yeah.
and the beach.
And the beach.
I am a big beach goer.
That's not their slogan, though.
But
Yeah, I know.
So you have a Chief Edition,
but correct.
and you have the tan interior.
Yes, I
it looks
break.
so
I
good.
break with everybody's typical black
Yeah.
interior. Now mine had a black interior originally, of course,
Right.
as so many do.
Yep.
But
The
there is-
tan makes
the
it
tan works.
really. It's
It
really
works.
nice.
it works.
It looks great. I
admire that Jeep a lot.
and I did the tan in that TJ.
Yes, you did, and
In the
that looks
97,
really good.
And
Yeah.
it matches, it works, and that did have a tan interior.
Yeah, it's a good-looking interior vehicle. It's smart to do that, so I love it.
He's definitely a supporter of Armorlite.
100%.
A repeat customer.
Every vehicle.
Every vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? We've got things coming up. We've got questions, and if you've got
Lots of
questions, make sure to
Questions.
feed them in live into our comment section, and maybe they'll make it happen. We had some questions that were sent and comments, so I decided let's put it all together and have Jason come in and moderate that, and then Bill and I can make things up or actually answer them with authority.
Yep.
Or maybe do a little bit of both. So that's what's coming up. But since we've got those questions, I need your shop. Show us your shop. Nobody has sent in their shop.
Not a single
Come on, Canada.
one yet.
Throw it in.
To literally just take a video on your phone and email it to us.
Yeah, do it.
Do it sideways though.
Yeah, it'll look better on the screen.
Looks better on sideways. Yep.
So send that in to us. Hell, I'm not even picky enough to say which way to put it in, but but do send in your shop and your listener questions. We love to keep those coming. So bring them in. Hey, we've got some events.
We do have some events.
It's coming to the very end of
It is.
event season.
Starting today is Trail Hero in Sand Hollow, Utah.
I know. I've got FOMO as I've been watching some of the videos.
There was a possibility of going, but things just don't work out sometimes.
For work, I was going to go and kind of see if it was something we should put some, eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Ended up just being not enough time.
Not the year.
No.
October 20th to the 22nd is Myrtle Beach Jeep Jam.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
In the South.
In the South. Yeah. And also, October 15th is New Jersey Jeep Fall Invasion in Ocean City. It got rescheduled.
Oh, rescheduled. That's right.
Yeah.
It did. Yep.
So, throwing that one in there. And then November 11th is Wheel to Heel by Apex Off-Road up at AOAA.
Yes. I think both of us.
I think we will be up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So come see us. We'll have stickers.
That's a repeat event.
Yes.
Multiple
Always
repeat.
always a good time.
We had a good time last time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And November 12th is at Virginia Beach Jeep Fest in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
I want to go. I love Virginia Beach. I've
Yeah.
got friends there. It's a good place to be.
Make the trip, man.
I'd love to make the trip. Then I would have to miss Wheel to Hill.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because that's Virginia Beach is not far, but it's not
But
close
it's far
either.
enough.
Yeah, it's like 6.5, 7 hours.
That's it.
from
That's
here.
a
Yeah.
hike.
It'd be 8.5 probably from.
Driving a brick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, driving that brick. Hey, did we do anything Jeep wise since last show?
No.
No.
I changed out an O2 sensor.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. You did something.
We
Yeah.
went and looked at a Jeep.
We went and looked at a Jeep today
you
for
did?
Jason.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like Pokemon. I just collect them all.
yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all.
I told Bill that, if this keeps up, I'm going to just have to repave my driveway and turn it into a parking lot.
That's right. And
And my neighbors are going to be like, are you
What
having a
is
party?
going
No,
on?
that's
No,
just where I
just throw
keep all
down
the
big
vehicles.
rocks and have to rock crawl into your
Actually, I
driveway.
do have a rock wall in the back of my house. I
There you
might
go.
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
That'd be a
that-
good idea.
I think the neighbors might take issue with that. But you know what?
Who cares?
I
know.
love my neighbors. So
That
I'll
they're
invite them
good
over.
neighbors.
We'll turn it into an event.
There you go.
We'll sell tickets.
Yeah. While you're out looking for another Jeep,
You just need to let me know what's going
I
on
need-
with that situation. If you're, is it a repair
no,
or is it gone?
I need to replace.
It's
a
I need to find a
replace.
replacement Jeep for the
Because
kid.
I am backing
We're-
up Bill looking
We're
for
looking
his
for
sibling.
my sibling.
right.
We're all
The-
looking for vehicles now.
The race is on.
I feel like I've gotten very good at running through lots of, because their listings are really ridiculous.
yeah.
And that might be a topic for our question stuff. So maybe we'll save that
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people have that challenge right now. So that could be a good one for a little bit later on.
Yeah, and although the kid wants to learn how to drive a stick, she
It's
doesn't want to
not-
stick.
No.
You don't want to commit to it
No,
necessarily.
she doesn't
No.
want a standard manual. She wants an automatic, and I want her to have an automatic.
Yep.
That's even though we kind of talked about this before.
Oh, that's all I'm seeing out there right now is just
Yes.
Manuals are everywhere.
manual.
But it makes it impossible for the teenager to have the
Yes.
phone in their hand.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a
We did-
bonus.
There is that bonus.
But she was really good about not being on her phone.
Right. And it was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
And it happens.
So the question is, how is Red Panda? Red Panda is going to no longer belong to us.
Yes.
It has been totaled.
It belongs to an
to a
insurance company
junkyard.
now.
Yep. Well, not yet.
Oh,
Not yet. I haven't signed my title. I
you
haven't.
should ask about the buyback.
We said about that.
Yes, I know, but I haven't had a chance. Right?
I know. It's
All
only
right.
been a day.
Yes.
Now get on
So
it.
Monday, tomorrow, I'm going over with box in hand and getting the tags and all the stuff that's left in
Yep.
it. It'll be a sad day, so I'm going to do that so that my kid doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Take the
Yeah.
Take the edge off.
take the
Yeah.
mirror.
Take the
It's mine.
Can I give you a list of other TJ parts that,
Yeah,
that you should
right.
take?
Yeah.
By the way, you won't miss this.
Yeah,
you know,
the carburetor,
the wheels,
the wheels.
your axle.
Yeah.
I swear,
Yeah.
It fell out.
it fell
Yeah,
out.
of my pocket.
I don't know how that
I
rear.
don't know how it helped itself
44
out of the
yeah.
vehicle, but I don't know.
It just happened.
So and we're all. I think we've talked. All three of us are in the search for those vehicles, and yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It stinks.
So I guess that brings us to the main topic of questions.
Well,
And we-
geez, then we're just going to continue with where we were.
Yeah.
Questions.
I need a little interesting soundbite there, don't I?
I know.
Maybe in post.
Dun,
get
dun,
it.
I
dun.
don't know.
Who knows?
With like
We'll
an
see.
infographic and a big swoop, swoosh.
I need to get really professional. I've got a little button machine over here that I could do that with, but I don't know how.
Yes,
Terry, I
mo-
think we were happy
um,
that you restored the video feed.
Right.
We're gonna lead with that.
Yeah.
So they're asking, most importantly, is your daughter okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's good.
She is 100%.
Yeah, she's good. A little shaken up, and it took a few days for her to want to drive again.
Oh.
But she's good. Everything's good. She drove last night when I needed it most. And, she's good. But now we've just got to find. She keeps sending me listings, like back to back to
Red
back.
Panda 2.0.
Yeah, there's Red Panda 2.0. There's other things out there. I'm like, all right. She sent me some damn school bus hauler
A school
Wait, hang
bus?
on, hang
Yeah.
on. That could have
That'd be
advantages.
cool.
today. Yeah. So that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know what she was like, let's get it. And I'm like, well, if we spend the money on that, then we might not have the money to buy a Jeep. And she's like, okay. She's like, I'll drive that. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Let's see this.
Oh, no.
What?
No.
No.
She's
no,
the
no,
weirdo
no.
that would
No,
want
no,
to
no.
drive.
It has a fifth wheel hook
I
up
know.
on the back. No.
Although we do know a few people that rock the school bus for a crawler hauler.
That thing is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool,
All
right?
I'll give it. I'll give
I
it to
mean,
her.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, we can put a trailer on the back of that thing and
Everything I own's on wheels.
Except for a Jeep.
All right, ask me a question. Somebody needs to ask me a question.
So no, why we should just pick right up with where we were on that, because that's something you and I have talked a lot about lately. A lot.
Oh my gosh.
Too much. Is this situation with Jeeps in the aftermarket? So let me form it in the phrase of a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion of the Jeep secondhand marketplace and why we're seeing prices literally, in some cases, double, if not more, than we would have seen, say, 5 years ago? For the same thing.
2 reasons. Vehicles are staying on the road longer.
Okay.
Jeeps hold their value in general.
Yeah.
They are a strong running car. And also with the economy and COVID and everything like that, people are holding on to their vehicles longer and keeping them running longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that almost became a necessity when the chips weren't available, and so new cars
new
weren't
cars
available.
were OBO. Like
Right.
they
Yeah.
were
Couldn't get a new car.
right.
And also, it's just a very desirable vehicle, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's got.
Yeah.
I think it's got some certain cachet
Yeah.
these days. Like you see a lot of them around. I remember feeling not all that long ago, really, that you wouldn't run across so many,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a brand in resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a Jeep is iconic.
Yes.
Period. It's iconic.
7 slots.
Coming from World War II, it is iconic, and even when people, left the service, they wanted to pick them up. They've been a popular vehicle for people to pick up, for a long time. So I think this is just a continuation of that, and the fact that they hold their value. You go back and you look at a Scrambler, they're going for $15,000-$20,000 right now, and because people want them. They look at the nostalgia factor of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then what can I do with it? Can I build it up, or should I restore it, or should I keep? There's
Right.
all the schools of thought out there, but you have options with these vehicles that maybe a lot of vehicles don't have. I mean,
Oh yeah.
right? So,
Well, somebody asked me, like, what's with the crazy Jeep thing and whatnot.
Everybody wants one.
Well, it went kind of more into the whole, like, what's the whole jam with Jeeps. I go, not a lot of people out there, putting 20s and a lift on a 2012 Honda Odyssey.
no, right.
Like, although we have
Right.
talked about that too.
Yes, we have thought about doing
For those that don't know, I have exactly that vehicle, and I have decided that at one point it's worth so little that it may just need to become the world's coolest trail-capable minivan.
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree with that.
But yeah, so it sounds to me, and I see some comments out there that it's the part outs, it's the restoring. I'm with you, Terry, on that
Yep.
one. I've looked at CJ8s. I'm on a couple of on a couple of groups, and I watch those. Sky high, restored,
yeah.
25, 28, 38, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we look at interest rates on new cars. They're going
They're
up,
ridiculous.
right? And Josh points that out for us, and it's crazy. But I'm not in a point in my life where I want to add another car payment.
That's
right?
very true.
I don't want to
People-
take and trade mine in.
Yep.
I could and do very well with it,
Mm-hmm.
but then I would be starting over with a car payment.
Yep.
Right.
And not only with a car payment but a build, right? And that'd be fun, but I just don't have that kind of resources or time right now to do that. I have little projects on mine that
Yeah.
I need to do. I can afford those little projects, but
Right.
then you add on a new car payment and then having to build it. No, I
Doesn't
think
work.
right now, for at least the three of us, and I know other people are in this category too, but getting a second Jeep or a Jeep for a member of the family going used right now is a good way to go.
So the demand is there.
The demand is there, but it's tough to find that right vehicle, and we did it once.
Yeah.
Right.
Odds are lessening that odds are lessening that maybe we can repeat that. I don't know, but there's a question in there that we definitely want to tackle from Joe.
Yeah. I thought that was a good segue.
So write that one down.
Yep. No, I got those in my head. But before we kind of depart to that, kind of leaving the question at hand, do you think that the story with automatics versus manuals, because you pointed this out, this is what we keep running into.
Yeah.
We see nice vehicles
Very nice vehicles, but there's
and good price points, but so I'll turn this into the question.
Yep.
Do you think that is just because in the early days, the automatics, so like that 97 I've got, I
Yep,
got a Gen 1 TJ, that's a 3-speed with the 4-cylinder.
Yep.
It's
Whoa.
anemic.
Yeah.
Good for a starter driver, so let's
Yep.
kind of frame
It'll
that
go.
one. It'll go when I stop
it has
on it
like
and get out and
90
push.
horsepower.
But do you think that that's really the driver for why we see now such a dominant prevalence of manuals? Or do you think it's because people's tastes have changed?
So I will start the answer with that. Back when those were popular, automatics was really it was the upgrade, right?
You paid
and so
more for
you
it,
paid more for it. You
Less
might have
gas mileage.
you might
like
have
all
to
the things.
wait for it to come in,
Right.
even, right?
Yep.
And so, most cars at that time were standard,
Mhm.
were manual anyway, right? And automatic window up or downers, automatic
Roll-ups,
locks,
yeah.
all that stuff was add-ons that were second thought. So when you look at the percentage of automatics built versus manual in that time frame, it definitely isn't like today. I mean, you go to the Jeep lot now, and finding a manual is practically impossible.
You almost order
Right,
that now.
Right. Exactly. So I would think it's a 9-to-1, versus
That's
the opposite
I
way,
hear you.
where manuals were the 8-to-2.
right.
Then,
There is another question in the chat, and and Dave is asking, how do you think the auto market strike affecting new Jeep availability? Will this keep used Jeep prices up? I think absolutely it's going to force used Jeeps, just used car
so
prices in general.
I've got to think, on that. What it's going to do is it's going to make service parts less available,
yes.
because they're going to use the service surplus of parts to manufacture new vehicles. So as long as the strike is over in a decent time, then the delays you're going to have is on the service end and the part acquisition end. They'll reserve all those parts for the new vehicles.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the longer the strike goes, and I think that they're actually getting pretty close to ending it, knock on wood. Let's hope that they come to some
Hopefully, yeah,
agreement, right?
hopefully.
Then I don't think that it'll impact it that much. But the longer it goes on, the less chance of success that will be.
They also have a very large inventory of vehicles.
Yep.
Still, too.
Yeah, and I
So
think
it'll take a little while, but it could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like right now, you're seeing a huge discount on the 23 Gladiators.
Yeah, because they have a
right,
ridiculous
because they have
amount of
a
them.
lot of them on hand, and they just came out with the 24 with the mid-cycle
Yeah.
changes.
Well, that's Joe's question from earlier that you wanted to
Yeah.
earmark is, what is your opinion of those changes? So that's a good segue right into that question.
I like the new interior dash and larger
Yeah.
screen. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
What did that go up to? Because it was the
It's
was
a
it the
12.
8.4
12.
before?
It's a 12-inch now.
Holy
Yeah.
moly!
It's ridiculous.
But it's not as high,
yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
wide.
it's wider.
It was like 16 by 9 kind of thing.
dual
it
climate,
almost, yeah.
dual,
Gotcha.
dual climate control.
Just some creature comforts. The new
Didn't they have that
grill.
before? The
They-
JLs had that.
The optional full power seats.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creature
cooled.
comforts. And that's the trend I think you see between
Yep.
go JT, JK, JL. You see the creature comforts creeping
yeah.
in.
I mean, when the JKs had the mid-cycle, they did move to a new engine,
Yes.
but the exterior stayed exactly the same,
Yeah.
and the
Interior,
upgrades
right,
were the interior,
Completely
Right.
changed.
right? So that this isn't anything new.
No.
I
I think it's their operating motif in terms of their
sure.
revs and their changes.
you know, and right now the cycle is around a 10-year mark
Yeah.
for complete
Sure.
upgrade, and then after 4 or 5 years,
Like a letter change, like when
Yeah.
we roll it. Yeah.
yeah. So it's I think it's great. It doesn't change my opinion. I still want a Gladiator.
Yes.
But it doesn't make or break. You know, if I get a 23 or a 24, I don't think I'm going to care, because especially the 23 is a better
Yeah.
deal.
Absolutely.
But it is. I think it's cool. I think they're missing out right now on the 4xe side. But I think that has government restriction. No, for
guidelines or something.
for towing. That's
Oh.
the only, I think, avenue with that
Okay.
is the towing capacity
Oh.
that's truly not applicable, but it is a part of the 4xe kind of problem. Is it's not really rated for towing,
Interesting.
even
And
though
is that by
the torque is
regulation?
there. Yes, it is by regulation.
Okay.
Jeeps aren't meant for towing.
They're not to start with.
Jeeps are meant to be towed.
Yeah, right.
Some of our friends know that more than others.
Yes. Some
You know who you are.
But yeah, I was kind of hoping, and I think a lot of people were hoping with the 4xe would be included in that. And I think it's just a matter of time with that, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, maybe change the horsepower of the 4xe. Or,
Well, do you think that there'll be a rev for that? Now, I think that would come on a quicker cycle than the 10-year cycle that you were just speaking about.
yeah.
A model, like a model rev for the 4xe, like a spec change, like a
Could
re,
be.
just like the 3.8, like you were saying about the JKs, went from a 3.8
Yeah.
to the 3.6.
Yeah.
Do you see that changing in the powertrain or the configuration? of it?
I could see that changing anytime they're ready to do it.
Right.
Just like the 4xe Wrangler did not come out with the 2018
Mhm.
JL,
Mhm.
right? It was a
Its own
2020, right?
It was its
came
own
out
thing.
a couple years later. So I don't think they're held to any of that. But yeah, I don't. It could happen at any time. So that's a great question.
All right. Well, you know, I see a couple of other comments too that are really in line with some of the question. You know, like
Yeah.
LJ's being a little crazy. Gary was making a comment about
LJs
that.
are crazy.
I told you about
expensive
that
right
one
now.
that I'm like monitoring. I monitor a lot of the market stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, LJs are like almost becoming unicorns.
I
And
found
good,
one.
good,
I found one.
good
I'm
LJs.
not telling you about it. I found one.
Well, I got a good one. I'll tell you about,
all
but
right.
it's just not close.
Yeah, but
You need to-
I
you
found
gotta go
one,
Get
and
it.
we'll see how that works.
All right.
I want to give a shout out to Nick on here from Waxahachie, Texas. I've been to Waxahachie, Texas several times.
Mhm.
Some of my worst and best memories are from Waxahachie, Texas. My dad lived in Lancaster, Texas, which is
Okay.
really close to there. But they're Texas and Hatchie outlaw Jeeps, and they love the Jeep Life podcast. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
Well, Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
It's just fun to say. It really is.
Waxahachie.
Yeah, it's it's a small little town, and it's south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Interesting.
Oh man, you had a geographical like you were ready to go to the map on that.
Oh
one.
yeah, right at it. Click.
He knows
Boom.
where it is.
All right. Well, I think that was a pretty good run there through some of those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
I know that I don't know if we want to get into some technical questions, but there is one that you had passed along to me that came in on the email address.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to remind everybody about your email address for the podcast.
info@jeeplifepodcast.com.
All questions,
Send us your
comments.
questions. Send us your shop. Send us
Requests for
Send
stickers.
us $10.
everything.
Yeah, if you want to throw a $10 bill in it and just
And just send us your credit card information.
But that
That's
leads to these little episodes that I join you for, and we go through some Q&A and
Yep.
kind of see what everybody's interested in.
yeah.
And actually, I'll ask this one, but I've got a good one that comes behind it.
Okay.
This was asked by a Mr. Steve Bowden. 2010 JKU AC randomly works almost like a mind of its own. Compressor coming on will produce cold air. So
Oh.
it does seem to work. It's at pressure, so it's got refrigerant. But the button and the light on the button have no bearing on the function of the compressor. It seems to just be gremlins in the machine. I've heard of this issue on forums, but never a solution. Are there, kind of paraphrasing a bit, but are there any known issues that you've heard of about the cooling system?
Sounds like the clutch is going out.
Yeah,
The
that
AC.
The
AC
electric
clutch.
clutch.
Yep.
Yeah, the electric clutch.
Interesting. So even if the button, I think that's kind of the
Yep.
meat of his question is, he even had the button replaced.
it's not a button.
It's not the button or the
not the
relay
button.
anymore.
So that when and correct me if I'm wrong, but so your belt goes around the pulley
Mhm.
of the compressor, and there's a clutch system in there that tells it when to engage with that
Yep.
with the belt
It's an
and when
electric
not to.
clutch. Yep.
And so that clutch will activate and actually spin and spin the compressor up and let it
Yeah.
do its thing.
So the pulley always spins.
yes.
But when the clutch activates it, it's
Then
an
the compressor
electromagnet
spins.
clutch
Yeah.
that grabs the inside.
So that could just be either slipping or just
if
dying
it's
off.
slipping or if it's dying. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
And the
to me.
solution to that is a full compressor replacement, or is there a clutch replacement?
I'm not sure, but usually there is a clutch replacement.
Yeah.
You just they pull off and
I
Yeah.
had that in an old vehicle.
Yeah.
I had an old vehicle years and years ago that it had that exact problem. And the clutch got all wonky, but the compressor was still fine. And you were
Yeah.
able to replace that. And it was much cheaper than
Yeah.
replacing the whole compressor. That was
unfortunately
a
you
lot.
do have to purge the system afterwards.
Yes.
If
So
you're
you
doing that.
probably
So you're
unless
probably
you
gonna have
really
to
know, take it to a professional.
Yeah, take it to a professional.
yeah,
Yep.
AC stuff seems to be like
Pain in the rear.
you just don't touch it.
Yep.
Coming up to winter though, so you're not going to need that
Well,
AC.
you know, you want to turn your AC on, Steve? Just roll down your window and it'll be good.
Yeah.
So the extra one on that is, and I'm dealing with this now. Is have you heard of an issue with, I think it was the early JLUs or JLs,
Mm-hmm.
not specific to the Unlimiteds, where the cooling fans rev up and sound like a jet engine, and the engine is totally fine at temperature, but it's acting as if it was 1,000,000 degrees.
That's kind of typical with those electronic fans.
Yeah.
The sensor in them could go bad and
That they just
or stay on.
or they're just one speed, high or on or off.
Though that one seems it definitely
They do
revs.
sound like weird jet engines. They're like
Oh, it's obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
I know I read into it, and there was talk of a firmware, an ECU kind
there
of thing.
could be that too. Yeah.
Again, the advent of all those creature comforts and smarts in these cars.
Yep.
It's not the old school. Hey, it's a thermo switch and it's on.
Right.
So, let's see. Did we get anything else in here? Oh yes, Gary. You know what I'm talking about.
Supposedly they corrected it.
Yeah, I took it in, and they said the tech sat there and tried to get it to happen, and I'm like, just push the firmware update. Let's just be done with it.
Just
But
do it.
anyway.
Of course, Jared wants to hear that jet sound
the jet
again.
sound.
The dude flies jets for a living, so he
So
likes to
there's
he
like a
likes to
tongue-in-cheek kind of moment.
he likes to
No, it's
compare
awful.
the.
He's like,
the
exactly what jet
sounds.
is it? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a 2018 JLU. They don't fly very high off the ground, and if they do, it's usually a big problem. Let's see here.
Joe just got in a good
Oh.
question.
Oh, that is a good one.
So you want to?
Sure. I'll pitch, and here we
Yeah.
go. Given the Overland Expo East is this week for a new Jeeper wanting to overland with buddies, do you guys recommend rooftop tent setups or small trailers like Patriot, Turtlebacks, etc.? Billy, I think that's right up your alley.
So I like the trailer idea because
For the same reason I do.
you're gonna want to go and drive away.
Yep.
At some point, you're gonna want to travel.
Yep.
Or go into town, or do something.
Right.
You're not gonna want to
once you
pack
once you
every-
put
once
the,
you're
once you
open, you're
put that-
open.
and then you're open for business, and
Yep.
then that's your business.
Yep.
I think the one thing that you said, it wasn't a conversation between us, but it was with some people we were with, and you, if I remember right, made the point, well, and then you're going wheeling or you're going on trails.
And then you
now,
got all that weight up top.
right. It's one thing if it's pure overland,
Yeah.
it's one thing, but then if you're going to mix that up, like a lot of times we're all out and you're going to go on trails, now you have the apparatus
Yes.
Mm.
and it's with you.
And an extra 12 inches above you.
Correct.
So I know the trendy thing is to have rooftop tents.
It's cool. and all.
Even on trailers. I know you have it, but for me, it's weird at 3 a.m. to try to climb out of a tent to go piss, and I
He freaked me out the first time I saw him come out of the.
yeah, you're right.
I'm like, you're coming out of like a tree stand. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And he does have,
whoa.
he had a vestibule on his too, so you don't see until his feet are hanging down on
Yeah.
rung 2 of the ladder or something.
Right.
But I have found that if I wanted a trailer, I had decided even to myself that I wasn't going to put a rooftop tent on it,
Yeah.
but I was going to use it as all the gear and as
Mhm.
a kitchen setup,
Yeah.
Oh.
right? So that I could roll out the kitchen and use that as the
That's
frame of the
cool.
kitchen, and just be able to carry my my Gazelle tent
Gear.
in stuff
Yeah.
in it.
Mhm.
And then when I get to said campsite, I can unhook the trailer, make it my kitchen, and then
Right.
set up my tent
So
wherever
really
I
it's your
need to.
apparatus hauler.
Yes,
Yes.
you know, in this everything exactly the same, except I wouldn't put a rooftop
Right.
tent on it. Maybe I would use that to carry gear on top and mount to it, but
Yeah.
not as maybe have a Thule up there or something.
I would agree with all that.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, unless it leaks in the rain. This from the guy that's got the
right.
an RV mounted to a trailer.
Things
That's
leak.
not playing fair.
Things leak.
Yep.
But Terry, I'll pull from your comment because you threw out there about your tent,
Yeah.
and you have a very nice tent. It's very
Yes.
bougie.
Yeah, it is bougie.
It is
He's
very
got
bougie.
2 rooms, dude.
Rooms. I had to ring the doorbell to get let in.
I know.
I mean, it was
It's
like,
crazy.
we have a
It's-
bellman and everything. Yeah.
I think I had to use a key card or some kind of
Yeah.
like. You've had that now for about, I think, is it 2 years now?
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you got it.
Yeah, I
you
know.
you were very excited about
Yeah,
it,
I've done all season camping.
and
Yeah.
you've now been out at least with me. I know
Yep.
no less than 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
How is that treating you? With respect to the question about these pop-up tents and everything,
Yep.
how's that treating you for a camping rig?
So for me, the ability to pull it out and have it set up in 5 minutes,
Okay.
and like you've alluded to, it's got a sunroom.
Yeah.
It's got a front room.
It's got a front room,
It's
a back
huge.
room.
It's
got-
a 8x8 or a 9x9 footprint for the main
It's
tent, and then another.
surprisingly
Yeah.
it's
8 by 8.
surprisingly spacious.
And the floor disconnects out of it, so
Yep.
it's super easy cleanup.
Yes, and
Wait, really?
The
Yeah.
floor
See, I don't think I
velcros
even
knew
that.
in.
yeah, it's all velcroed in,
It's
so you
just
can
Velcro.
That's
undo
very
it.
cool.
Oh, it's
The folks over at Gazelle outdid themselves. Now, weird this is, I'm not trying to save weight or anything
No,
with that
this
because
sucker is
that thing's
huge.
heavy. It's huge. It's
yeah,
heavy.
It's a big bag.
Right,
It's like a
so-
big duffel bag,
which
right?
also,
it's a dead body.
we call it a body bag. So it actually, because of that, they can use the higher end, heavier fabrics.
Materials. Yeah.
So when I winter camp with it, I was super warm at 30 degrees
Oh. Okay.
on the inside because it does keep the heat in and the cold out.
Okay.
So whatever body heat that I was producing, plus my little buddy heater,
Yep.
I was able to keep both rooms.
You almost had to kind of vent it a little bit just
Yeah,
to like turn
yeah.
it out. But you did have the little buddy heater because that was going to
Yep.
be a question that popped to mind as you
Yep.
were saying that. So even with that, you're able to fend off a lot of cold.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and even in the summer, camping at 80 degrees, 90 degrees, I just open up every screen and the wind just the breeze comes right through, and so it's super
Sure.
comfortable. I can do it without the fly or with the fly.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
I know this is a Jeep podcast, but I camp out of my Jeep using that tent, so I think it's a good thing to talk about. I know that there's members in our club now that have it. Former coworkers have it. I got it all from the Overland Guru at oh my God, how am I losing his name? Ron Harrington.
Oh,
I
I'm like,
sorry, Ron. But I got, I saw his, and I'm like, I gotta have that Gazelle. It's because it's so easy to, and I
Right.
can stand up in
Right.
it. I'm 6 foot tall, and I can stand up in it in every area.
Right.
So I know I sound like a salesperson for Gazelle, but
no, I think it's a really cool tent. And if I was a tent
Yeah.
camper still,
yes,
Right.
yes,
I would like to go buy one, but they are quite expensive.
they're not cheap.
But I think you're making the point. You get what you pay
You
for.
get what you pay
Yes.
for. Yep.
But back to the thing you just said a minute ago is, it's a Jeep thing, but this is the Jeep Life podcast, and
It's all about
camping
that
with
life.
your Jeep
Yep.
That's
is part of that good
life.
Jeep life.
Yep. Agreed. All right. That's
I learned that from somebody that I know.
right. We had that conversation.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's awesome.
JKUs with a hard top, but full soft doors.
Oh, here's
I
one
mean,
from
that's somebody out there.
yeah, somebody's doing it.
Somebody's doing it.
Here's one. How do we remove the entire 2017 JKU stereo system?
How do you remove it?
Remove it.
The entire, everything about it is what the question is.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I can tell you parts of it, but
I
you
don't necessarily recommend that because a lot of the cabling runs through the CAN bus system.
Yes, it does.
And when you start removing that, then the computer doesn't know what to do.
Yep.
And even with all the speakers and everything, the wiring, you can certainly remove it. That speaker wiring, even though it's all tied in together and sheathed together,
Yep.
you can still remove all that. But to remove the harnesses and stuff from the stereo, I don't necessarily remove the stereo. I don't give a whatever.
No, you can't sometimes.
Right. I think you have to have something.
think-
on a
I think-
JKU you can.
Well, certain years.
Oh, he's a 2017.
I think the
Like mine.
the
There's no
CAN
weird issues if I yank that thing out because I did it. It was fine, but some weird things can spring up. Like, so my wife has the 2018 JLU,
right.
and that thing is like what it talks, like you said, Terry,
Yeah.
with through the
Yeah.
canvas.
talks
It
through
talks
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
heavily because even if like I had to do the infamous delaminating screen replacement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
And when you reset the thing, it comes up and it's all weird and wonky, and it like resyncs to the car.
Yes.
Mm.
I
Yes.
did not experience that with my vehicle and the factory. What is it? The Uconnect
Yeah.
system.
Yep.
And then likewise, when you put in an aftermarket radio, anybody that's doing that in these modern vehicles, JKU and newer, is usually the Maestro
Yeah,
adapter
right.
box, which is a firmware flash to your vehicle, to the manufacturer of the radio,
Yes. And that
to
talks
your
to the
pull
CAN
back
bus.
to
Right.
hand it back to you on the point of don't start chopping wires because most of them are woven into the fabric
Somewhere,
of the vehicle.
something.
Yeah. I agree with that. Now, I'll get a little background on here. He loves the tops and doors off, so it'd be better to not have the stereo system.
Oh.
He was thinking. I completely disagree with that, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful with that, but
Nope.
um,
Leave it in.
leave it in, and or get something that aftermarket that is water resistant, waterproof. Like I have the full Alpine system in
that's-
mine.
Mhm.
I have literally left the top off and
Gets-
3 inches of
it's-
water.
They're
Yeah.
IP60,
68.
IP65, 68. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's they're not waterproof, but they
They
are
can take a hose.
resistant.
Yes.
Yes.
and so I don't worry about that. Now I'm not worried about theft either,
Yeah.
because even though it's easy to get like the display off of that, the rest of the head unit is actually very difficult to get out. So it's not like, it's going to get stolen. My subwoofer is mounted under the seat, and in order to take that subwoofer out, you have to remove the entire
It
seat.
is not a trivial. This isn't like 1980 and I got
No.
my little 4 prongs and pop, I got your Pioneer.
No,
It's
not anymore.
it's woven into the vehicle.
And then this, you and I both have the Alpine system in ours, and the sound quality
Mm-hmm.
is
Hands down.
unreal.
Yep.
Especially, it's not one of those $10,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
It's an expensive unit, but it's not a $10,000 unit.
Right.
And man, the abuse that I've put that thing through, I'm not gentle with my Jeep.
No.
And the sub still looks brand new under there. The speakers you can't see because they're behind grills and stuff,
Mhm.
but the head unit, flawless. The only thing I have is the Maestro unit, which isn't made by Alpine, but they end up using it, resets itself sometimes and
Oh, okay.
and does weird things. I think it's come disconnected right now, so I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
take my dash out and
Oh,
just.
do you think it's just loose?
I think it's just loose.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm gonna have to unplug everything and then reseat all the plugs, and then when I do that, I think I'm gonna try to figure out a way to keep them together because it's not the first time that
You
that's
could put, You
happened.
could put a zip tie between the two
Yep.
things.
Yep.
Lots of zip
I
ties.
had issues with the Maestro in mine. Now mine's not the Alpine.
Yep.
But it's the same premise.
Yep.
And I had problems with that. I actually had to go back twice to the installer, and it actually turned out to be a bad Maestro box.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because they had reflashed it, they did all this, and again, the firmware. It's one of these really squirrely pieces. It's not squirrely, but it's just a funky piece of equipment that translates one language to another.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it has to be right. It
Yes.
has to be the right version for the
Yes.
right vehicle and everything. And if it's not,
It doesn't
it's
work.
not.
yeah,
But let's turn something into a question for that. Is when we were at Wildwood,
Mm-hmm.
all of us were at Wildwood, but I joined you for a visit to your friends over at Alpine.
Yes.
And that was a really interesting conversation because we saw some cool stuff there. What do you think is, not to make it necessarily all about Alpine only, but what do you think gives them a leg up, and why did they advertise and bring such a prominent presence to that event?
Well, I mean, first off, the quality of their products, number one. Number two is they're interfacing with Jeep.
that was to me that was going to be the key factor because they are the OEM upgrade.
Yep.
So they are working with Jeep, to be
they
clear.
are
So if you go to the
working-
factory and get an upgrade stereo system,
I have this.
Yes.
it's Alpine. It's
And
made
they're
by
I
Alpine.
got
Their
Alpine all
R-
over my
Yeah.
car.
Yes. Alpine's R&D facility is in Michigan now.
Oh, okay.
They moved
Yep.
it all out there.
Wow,
and
okay.
At the plant. And
And to that point, especially the Restyle kits,
yes.
they're made and built specifically for those vehicles.
Yep.
Right. And so it's not like, the High 10, which is a great system by Stinger Off-Road. That's universal. You can put that anywhere.
Yeah.
But a Restyle kit only fits in the JK or the JL or the JT model that it's designed for. And it's made for that. It's plug and play. It's simple. It literally is.
There
that-
is some cutting on the
On
bigger
the-
ones.
But you have to cut some in the dash and stuff.
Yep.
But as far as the cabling and everything, it's true plug
You
and
don't
play.
have
Right.
to, splice
It's not.
wires.
It's not all
no.
the
You're not
super secret
sitting there
handshake box.
crimping wires for 10
And it's
hours.
timed out of the box for
Mhm.
the Jeep interior.
So they have and that was part of what I started
Yes.
getting into with
So they delay speakers
right.
based on the acoustics of the vehicle.
Correct. Now some other aftermarket systems have that because I did that to mine.
Yes.
Because the brand that I've got, I also have all the home gear.
Yes.
And so I have the calibration mic
Yep.
and hung it on my seat, shut all the doors, and do
Yep.
its little thing.
Yeah.
And so it's great if, you're not going to go down that rabbit hole and not all in a car audio and all that crazy stuff,
Yes.
but want a great system. Because I know both of you have extolled the virtues.
Yes.
Other than the car audio systems that you've put into your vehicles, what do you think another worthwhile? Because I see a little theme here from Nick is about the audio and the sound bar and everything, and the desire to extricate the sound system from his vehicle. Not recommended.
Yeah.
What would you think is the next most valuable bang for the buck for an interior modification for the average Jeeper?
Amplification.
Seat covers.
Seat covers. Oh.
I mean, you go
I
anywhere.
think we're
It wasn't-
talking about
it-
the stereo system,
Oh no,
right? No.
you could, and if you think
I
that
thought-
that is
Oh.
it, that's okay.
Oh.
Seat
But I
covers.
mean, outside the audio systems and
Okay.
everything that you
Yeah,
did, because
yeah.
you did the amp, you
Yeah,
did the
yeah.
sub.
Yeah, yeah.
well,
but like-
obviously Armor Light, but seat covers.
Armor Light before seat covers.
Yes.
But
Armor Light.
my seat covers they've saved me
Yes.
in so many ways.
Absolutely.
They're not hot when I get in them when the roof is off. It doesn't.
Now, aren't yours? You have black and red, don't you?
I have black and charcoal gray.
And those don't get hot.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not.
I don't
at
think. I
all.
don't think. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Neoprene does not get hot.
Yeah, it's a neoprene.
Okay.
So
Well, I used to have a neoprene wetsuit. It got hot in the
Well,
sun.
that-
so,
that's
I mean,
different,
you
yeah.
know, it's like it's toasty. So
Yep.
you think that is good just from the kind of creature comfort, driver comfort, passenger comfort kind of standpoint?
for me, I don't have to worry about whether my interior is going to look bad in 5 years.
Okay.
Right? Because I know that my seats were starting to fade from all the sun because the
Yeah.
instant the sun comes out, my top is back, right?
Yeah.
So, spending $150-$200 on some seat covers and in 3 years throwing those away and getting
right.
new
let
ones.
them be like sacrificial.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And see that's an important point though to highlight is because you've got a Sport, correct?
yes.
So you have fabric seats.
Yes, I don't have leather.
Okay.
And even to
that's-
that point,
Mhm.
leather's an expensive fabric.
Right.
Do you want that exposed to all the elements in the same way that,
That's fair.
So
And it's really toasty when it sits in the sun.
yes. Yes. So there you go.
Yep.
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 Yep. All right. Let's see. Do we have anything coming in off any other channels?
I don't.
I think we answered all the ones that I pulled in.
Yep. I'm just checking. Yep. Josh. Definitely. I will miss the DVD player. That was fun actually in the TJ because I did a stereo update on that and it was a blast from the past because I used to do a lot of stereo stuff.
Yep.
And that's a single din,
Yeah.
old school,
Yep.
and had a cassette deck. It was awesome.
I'd have left that thing in.
It had 5 memory positions for AM/FM.
So here's
It
what
was
I would have
super
done.
awesome.
Here's what I would have done with that. I would actually left that in as literally volume control.
Right.
Put a DSP, digital signal processor in with a USB port, and ran that as just the. I would have left that
Lop
in.
the entire thing and just leave the front, make it look a front facade. Just
Yes.
flip up and then it's a touchscreen.
Yes. Because that would be awesome. Bartak center armrest padded cover.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Bartak is a great brand.
Yep.
It could be almost any brand, but that definitely saves the arm from being
Yes, it does.
scorched off.
Mhm.
Undeniable game changer. Agreed. I'm loving the direction that we've had with
Yeah.
these questions. I know that there was one on there about businesses and sponsorships for
Okay.
the Jeep Life podcast. And basically the question is, how does a business go about doing that?
Mhm.
Contact us at info@Jeep Life Podcast. We are currently working on a formula for you to be able to do that. We're doing by episode or by month or by quarter. Give you plenty of options to, put money out there, and then we'll give you a, 20, 30-second spot in the beginning
or
and
longer.
And then we'll re-mention you at the end of said episode or said episodes for a month or whatever the agreement happens to be. So we'd love to have that. If you know somebody that wants to advertise for us, I mean, ArmorLite is our presenting sponsor, and they're a great partner to have. I know with Pipes and Cold Case and just all the partners are great.
Yes.
So you want to get on that bandwagon, jump on. Come on.
One of your partners is commenting what a great investment it is.
Yes. So we love it.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And if you want to support the podcast, you can head over to our Patreon page
Yeah.
and buy a monthly subscription
Yeah.
of $1, $3, or $5, I think. Or
It's extraordinarily
3,
reasonable.
5, or 10.
I think there's a $10 option,
There is a $10 option, I think.
but
right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we appreciate all of our Patreon sponsors.
Yes, we do.
We've got some great people that have been sponsors for a long time, and we appreciate them.
Yeah.
Maybe a podcast I happen to listen to, they call their sponsors, their Patreon sponsors, well, I don't think they use Patreon, but same idea,
Yeah.
is Scorpions of Support. And then they list out there's every third or fifth episode they list those out. And I think that might be something fun to do,
That would be cool.
be able to talk people's names on the,
Yeah.
because people like to hear that. I like to hear my name,
I would like to hear my name.
right? Breaky Billy.
I like my name.
Yeah, it's cute.
He has a moniker.
He does have a moniker.
He's earned it.
I have.
Yeah, we're still working on yours.
Oh, no. We've had like 3 or 4 for you. But they all apply. They all work at different times.
different
they
times.
all work.
Jeep
Yeah.
and Terry, Trail Time Terry,
Trail Time Terry.
two-wheel drive Terry.
Two-wheel drive Terry.
I was that for a long time.
You were. You were running that Bluetooth drive shaft.
Oh,
It was wireless.
yeah, it was.
It was Bluetooth.
It was Bluetooth. Yeah, there's nothing up there in the front end. Hey. Where can people find us, Bill?
I want everybody to head over to Linktree /Jeep Life Podcast. That's linktr.ee/Jeep Life Podcast. And also, you can give us a call on our listener voicemail,
Yes.
484-272-5436, 484-272-5436. And you can leave us a voicemail, and you might just make it onto the podcast if
You
it's
might.
a good one.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
also,
is this Break It Billy? I'm leaving a voicemail right now.
I want everybody to head over to our YouTube channel and give that like, subscribe, and a big old thumbs up.
And share with everybody.
Share it with everybody.
Yeah, tell everybody.
There's always great new content showing up.
Always. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight and going through this. I want to thank my friend Jason for filling in that
Stepping
seat
in. Heck
quite
yeah.
nicely. Did a great job. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me again.
Beach bum Jason.
Beach bum Jason.
I live it, breathe it.
Yeah. Rake the beach.
Living that
Jason.
beach life.
That's
beach,
right.
Beach Jeep life.
All right. For Break It Billy and Jeep and Terry, here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. Cool. All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Good to
Yeah.
hear about Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Yeah. That's great.
Whack the hatchet.
Wax
whack.
a taxi.
All right, everybody. We're tired. It's been a long week. We've got
Lots to do.
lots to do. Lots to do.
Lots to do.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good night.
This damn Jeep.